I never thought the people who brought me into this world would be the ones to break me the most. My name is Sarah, and for 28 years, I believed I came from a family that truly loved me. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable. My father worked as a respected accountant. My mother was a homemaker who always had fresh flowers on the dining table. Our big family home on Maplewood Lane had been in the family for 3 generations. It had a creaky wooden staircase, a backyard where I learned to ride my bike, and a big attic window where I used to sit and dream about my future. My parents always told me the same thing. Sarah, this house will be yours one day. Everything we've built is for you. You're our only child. We want you to have roots. I believed them with all my heart. After college, I moved back home for a while to help take care of my mother when she had surgery. I even put my own career plans on hold. I worked remotely as a graphic designer so I could be there for them. I cooked dinner every evening. I drove my father to his doctor appointments. I poured my love into them, thinking this was what family meant. But looking back now, there were small signs I ignored. The way my father would suddenly change the subject whenever I asked about the property documents. The way my mother would nervously laugh and say, "Let's not talk about such heavy things, darling. We're all still here." Then one ordinary Tuesday afternoon, everything shattered. I was home alone when a real estate agent knocked on the door holding a folder. He looked surprised to see me. "Hi, I'm here for the final walkthrough of the property before closing," he said with a polite smile. "The new owners are very excited about the house." I stood there frozen, my coffee cup shaking in my hand. "I'm sorry, what house?" He checked his papers. "This house, 142 Maplewood Lane, sold 2 weeks ago." My world went silent. That was the beginning of the worst betrayal of my life. I called my parents immediately, voice trembling. They were at a short weekend trip they hadn't told me about. My mother picked up, sounding too cheerful. "Sweetheart, we were going to tell you." "Tell me what?" I cried. "That you sold my childhood home behind my back." What they told me next broke something deep inside me. They had sold not just the house, but also the small lakeside cabin my grandparents left specifically for me, and most of the savings that were supposed to be held in a family trust. Over $380,000 gone. All of it transferred and sold while I was busy taking care of them, thinking I was their loyal daughter. My father's voice on the phone was cold, almost defensive. "Sarah, we're getting older. We needed the money for our retirement. You're young. You can make your own money." "But you promised," I whispered, tears streaming down my face. "You looked me in the eyes for years and promised." My mother started crying too, but not for me. She was crying because she hated confrontation. "We thought you'd understand. Family helps family." I felt like I had been erased. For the next few weeks, I lived in a fog of pain. I had to move out of the house within 30 days. The new owners were kind but firm. I packed up my childhood photos, my mother's old china, and the stuffed bear I'd had since I was 5, all while feeling like a stranger in my own home. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Every night I lay awake asking the same questions. How could they do this to me? Was I ever really loved, or was I just useful until they didn't need me anymore? I confronted them one last time at the hotel they were staying at. My mother looked smaller, older. My father avoided my eyes. "I trusted you," I said, my voice breaking. "I gave up opportunities for you. I stayed when I could have left, and you sold my future like it was nothing." My father finally spoke. "We made a mistake, Sarah, but what's done is done." That was the moment something inside me shifted. The pain didn't disappear, it transformed into something colder, clearer. I remembered something. Years ago, when I was 22, my grandfather, my father's dad, had pulled me aside before he passed. He was old, but his mind was sharp. He made me sign some papers with him at a lawyer's office. He said it was just in case. At the time, I didn't think much of it, but I kept the folder. That night, sitting in a cheap motel room with everything I owned in boxes, I opened that old folder. My hands were shaking. Inside was the original will and a trust document. My grandfather had left the house, the cabin, and a significant portion of the family assets directly to me. It had been properly notarized and registered. My parents had never told me about it. They had gone behind my back and sold what was never fully theirs to sell. I had the final paper. The next morning I didn't cry. I called a lawyer. What followed was a long, painful battle. My parents were shocked when they received the legal notice. They tried to call me, begging, guilt-tripping, even threatening to cut me off completely, which was almost funny considering they had already taken everything. The lawyer was clear. The documents were ironclad. My grandfather had protected me in a way my own parents never did. It took 9 months, but we won. The sale of the house was reversed. The new owners were compensated by my parents, who had to take out loans and sell their fancy new car to cover it. The lakeside cabin was returned to my name. A large portion of the money was recovered. The day I stood in the old family house again, now legally mine, I felt no joy, only a deep, quiet sadness. My parents tried to reach out one final time. My mother left a voicemail, crying, "Sarah, we're your parents. Please don't do this to us." I never called back. I sold the big house eventually. Too many painful memories lived in those walls. I kept the lakeside cabin, the one place that still felt pure. I turned it into my peaceful home. I started my own small design studio. I planted a garden. I adopted a dog. Slowly, I began to heal. Looking back, I realized the deepest betrayal wasn't just losing the money or the house. It was losing the illusion of a loving family. But that loss taught me something powerful. Family is not just blood. Family is who shows up when you're broken. Family is who respects you enough to tell the truth. I no longer carry anger toward my parents. I feel pity. They chose money over their daughter, and they will have to live with that choice for the rest of their lives. As for me, I chose myself. And that, more than any house or any inheritance, became my real legacy. If you're watching this and you've been betrayed by the people who were supposed to love you most, I want you to hear me. Your pain is real. Your anger is valid. But don't let it destroy you. Use it. Protect yourself. Find the final paper in your own life, whether that's a document, a boundary, a decision, or simply the strength to walk away. You deserve better. And one day, you will build a life so beautiful that the betrayal becomes nothing but a distant, fading chapter. Thank you for listening to my story. If it touched you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, the final paper is always in your hands.